welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about a very important topic that really is interesting to me because I have lived through that experience. I see a lot of people asking, oh, how do I move to Sweden? What's going on? I want to move here. How is the dating scene going on? Scandinavian men, they're so cute, blue eyes, blonde hair, all of that. And where did I get this? So I follow a lady on YouTube. Her name is Truthfully. She is, I think, Nigerian American, married to a Norwegian man. And in one of her last videos, she shared how she met her husband, and they just did very short time dating, and he was very serious. He wanted to marry her, and he expressed that, and before they knew it, they are married, they have their son. And then she said, oh, if the Scandinavian men are interesting, they are nice, probably you should look towards the Scandinavian men if you're looking for a relationship, serious relationship. And I'm here to tell you, please don't fall for that. Auntie Fumi was very lucky or special to meet a man who was serious to settle down. So don't feel like this is the case for all Scandinavian men, and I mean Swedish men especially. So let's get into that conversation. So what is the easiest way to meet, or where is the easiest place to meet a Swedish man in Sweden? So the easiest place to meet a Swedish man in Sweden is on a dating app. They might likely not say hi to you in the public. They might look at you, make eye contact, but they might likely not say hi to you. The ones that might approach you are the ones that have lived abroad, or the ones who have dated foreigners, married foreigners. They are the ones who might approach you, okay? You understand that? But the easiest place to find them, to go on a date today, as in you will match today, say hi today, go on a date today, is on Tinder. But then there is something else that you need to know about Swedish men. So when you go on Tinder, you meet all sorts of men. You meet the sick one, you meet the kind one, you meet the one who are just there to play, you meet the players, you meet the sex-starved, you meet the ones who, like, there's nothing you will not see on Tinder Sweden. There's no kind of Swedish man you will not meet on Tinder Sweden. And why am I saying Swedish men? Because this is a country for Swedish people. So they are majority in this country. And you go on Tinder, you will find out that the majority of people you will find there are Swedish men. And I'm talking because I'm a woman who has dated Swedish men. I have not dated a woman, okay? Don't come to my video to fight. Okay, so I have dated in this country, and almost all my dates came from Tinder. I had nice ones, but I had the horrible ones. Horrible ones that took me to emergency hospital, caused me sickness, they were very dramatic, cheating. You know, the thing is that before I moved to Sweden, the perception or the information that I received was that these men, European men, are very honest. They are not cheating. They're like their counterparts in other parts of the world, in other continents. Okay, I don't want to mention name. There are some continents where the men there, like, most of them cheat. Like, it's like they carry the badge on their face. Their badge is, I cheat. It's my right. Okay, but then I now received the information that the men in Europe are more responsible. They don't cheat. And so it was really shocking to me when I moved to Sweden and started to date men here. And the story is something else. These men will cheat on their wife. Even on the Tinder app, you will find a lot of married men there. Some of them will put their picture, maybe one picture or a blurry picture, Some will not put their picture there, they will just leave some comments there. And in the beginning, when I saw that, I was like, is this really Swedish people, or just... Till I went on this date with this man. He had a picture of himself on Tinder, and we chatted, and then we decided to go on a date. We met in the city, and from there we went to have fika. It wasn't even a big date. It was just to have coffee, tea, snacks, and then get to know each other. And while we were on that date, suddenly I started to notice something. The man started sitting on, he was so uncomfortable. I was like, what's going on? I noticed that he was not comfortable. So I asked him, is there any problem? And then he said he doesn't want to sit here. We went to a cafe. So he said he doesn't want to sit here. We should go to another place. So I was like, okay, no problem. So we left in his car, because he came with his car, but I came in a taxi. So we now left in his car. And the first, I was like, should I join this man in his car? But then I was like, this is Sweden. Oh, this man cannot be like that. I shouldn't be afraid, but that's a mistake. Don't make that mistake. So I entered this man's car, and he started to drive me. He said he would drive me to another place, probably a restaurant that we can sit down and then chat and get to know each other. Suddenly, he started to drive me to an industrial area. And I noticed that there were no people, there were no building, there was just a construction site. And I asked him, where are you taking me to? What's going on? Where are you taking me to? And this man said, oh, he's just trying to find a nice place. I said, but this doesn't look like where people live. This is an industrial area. The next thing was that he parked his car, came out of his car, and started to say some things, started to ask for sex. I was like, what is this? Anyway, I will continue. I will do a series on this dating, on my dating experiences with Swedish men in my upcoming video. Okay, so let's go back to Auntie Fumi's story and what she said. So she now said people should look the Scandinavian way if you want to have a serious relationship, if you want to be with someone who is serious to settle down. See, one thing you know, or things that I know that I have come to experience when I dated these men, is that most Swedish men on Tinder, first of all, they are there for sex. They are there for sex because once they invite you, once they ask you out, for the ones that will ask you out, some will not even ask you out. They will start to write to you directly on Tinder that the reason why they match with you is just to have sex with you. Are you ready, or are you on? Are you in or not? If you're not, they unmatch you. If I say no, they unmatch you immediately. Okay, because I'm a black woman, some were like, oh, I've not had sex with a black woman before, I would like to have sex with you, are you interested or not? And then I'm like, no, thank you. And then the next thing I see was they unmatched me. Okay, so most Swedish men on Tinder are just like prostitutes waiting on the app for the next person to devour. So if you are the type that likes to play on the street, if you're the street type, you play anywhere, welcome to Sweden. But if you're the type that don't like to play anywhere, that you don't want to have casual sex with anybody, then this video is for you, okay? Let's get back to the story. So most Swedish men on Tinder app are just there for sex. Just like in most other countries. Don't think that there is an exception in Sweden. It's still the rule. So we move to the next one. Men in their 40s and 50s, 60s are not ready to settle down in Sweden. So if you are someone who wants to settle down with a partner, you're looking for someone to marry, start a family with, please avoid men in their 40s, avoid men in their 50s, avoid men in their 60s, except when they are 65 years. From 65 up to 80 years, 90. Those are the ones that are serious to settle down in Sweden. Did you hear me? The ones in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, except when they are 65, are not ready to settle down. Why? They've already had relationships in the past. They've probably been married and divorced. They probably have children. So they don't see any reason to be in a committed relationship because one, they have children already. They've been married. So what's there? There's nothing new for them there. So the thing that they now do is to separate from their spouses, divorce, and share the children every other week. And the next thing that you see them is you see them on Tinder. All of them, they're flying. They divorced today. Even before they divorce, they're already on Tinder looking for what? Sex. So if you are someone who is looking for commitment, avoid this age group. Avoid this age group. I'm not saying that you should avoid them all in general because you will still see or find people who are serious in that age group. But the thing is that the percentage of people who are serious to settle down in that age group will be little. And there's something that I also heard from some of the people that I dated is that they talk to themselves. So you would see on Tinder that probably you matched with a man on Tinder, Sweden, and then you match with another man. You wouldn't know that the men that you matched with are friends. So when they meet themselves, or they would just call each other and say, oh, I matched with this girl. She's a black girl. Her name is this on Tinder. Did you match with her? And the person will say, yes, I matched with her. And then they will start to talk about how, like, who's going to who's going to meet this girl first. Okay, so after all of that conversation, probably one of the friends will be the one to go out on a date with you and come back and tell his friends, oh, I went on a date with her, this is her profile, this is that. So they tell each other what's going on or what they do on Tinder. Like, they play. They are playing. They are playing. And they're not there for anything serious, my sister. So if you're looking for anything serious, my advice is when you meet him for the first time, ask him what he's looking for. Ask him, what is he looking for? Commitment, for serious relationship, or is he looking for sex? His answer will determine. Some of them might not tell you that they're looking for sex. They might pretend. But the best way to know is don't have sex with him till you are in a committed relationship. And you have to take your time to get to know this person. Because things happen in Sweden. You can go to Facebook groups and follow Women to Remember. It's a Facebook group where women who live in Sweden post stories of abuse, kidnap, murder, all of that. So things are happening in Sweden. Know it all. Women disappear in Sweden. Women are killed by their partners, by their boyfriends. So know that, okay? And that applies also to men. But I am a woman who dates men. So my focus is mostly on men and not on women. But go to Facebook, find Women to Remember, and read the stories of women. And these women, most of them are Swedish women. Even the foreigners were born and raised here in Sweden, so they are Swedes as well, okay? So go there before you do any wrong step. Okay, let's go. let's continue. So, like I said, if you're looking for a serious relationship, consider dating Swedish men who are in their 20s to their mid-30s. Those men, those age group are really serious about dating. And when you meet them, most of them are kind. I dated one of them. I went on a date with one of them. And he was so kind, so sweet. I remember we went out for dinner. He took me out on a date. And on our way out, I didn't wear I wore a light coat. So on our way back, it was getting dark and then it was getting cold, and I was cold. So I told him that I told him I was cold. I think I told him I was cold, or that he saw that I was shivering. He held my hands and saw and felt that my fingers were getting cold. And he immediately gave me his coat without me asking. He immediately gave me his coat, made sure I got back home safely, took care of me, and wanted something serious. But I was too scared because I heard from other foreigners that you shouldn't date Swedish people, that they like to divorce, that you can marry them today and tomorrow they say they don't want anymore and they divorce, which is not true. There are people who want to be in a relationship. There are people, Swedish people, who want to be married. But I got the wrong information, so I left him. I think his name was Johan. I left him. And few years later, I tried to contact him again with the number he gave me, and I couldn't reach him. So the other age group that you should consider if you are serious about settling down and having a committed relationship with someone who is serious to be in a relationship, who is very serious and want to be in a committed relationship, men from 65 to 90 to 100. Swedish men from 65 to 90, 100. This reminds me, I saw something on TikTok. This lady that moved to Sweden, and she's very beautiful, and she's trying to date in Sweden, and she wrote there that it's been difficult for her to date, to meet men, that the men she's been meeting on the app, they're all looking for sex, they're not ready, they told her that they're not interested in committed relationship, and that made her sad. And she was like, probably it's because of her age and all of that. And she's a very romantic person, she wants to be with someone. So I wrote to her and said, first of all, that love you want to give to them, give it to yourself first. Because in this country, men are not ready. Swedish men in particular are not ready to settle down, especially when they've had children, they've been married before, especially those in their 50s, those people those in their late 40s, 50s, those people. So I told her to just take back that love. Just love yourself too much, be that romantic on yourself. And I hope that she listens to my words, because some of us came to Sweden with like thinking that this European kind of love and romance, that we'll find it here. You meet a Swedish man, he will love you, he would all of that. But after dating a lot of them, I realized that please, I should give myself that love. I should give myself and my loved ones that love. I got anxiety, not just me, some of my friends, some of the black women that I have met before who lives in Sweden, who have dated Swedish men, married Swedish men, and all of that. Some of them they are dealing with their anxiety that they got from dating Swedish men, because the commitment, you would meet someone and trust the person, but when they start to act aggressive, silent treatment, the cheating, the lies, the abuse, the abuse. Like seriously, you will meet someone and this person will tell you, this is what she likes, this is the kind of person that she is, this is what she expects from a relationship. And this Swedish men will say yes, they will agree to all of that. What they're interested is just to sleep with the person. They will agree with that. And months into that relationship, or even years, you start to see the character of the person that you are married to or you are dating. And then you start to worry. And then you start to like, what then is the difference between them and their counterparts in other continents? What's then? There is no difference. There is no difference. So when I meet people and they say, oh, they want to date in Sweden, I do, especially when they say they want to date a Swedish man, they want to date, I'm like, please, if you want to date, say that you want to date a good man. Look out for a good man. There are signs of a good man. don't say you want to date Swedish men. There are also good men in good Swedish men as well. But as it stands in the country, especially in Stockholm, the men here, most of them are not interested in committed relationship. So if you are the type who is okay with casual sex, this would work for you. But if you're the type who don't like one night stand, if you ask me, I would say Sweden is the capital for one night stand. If you're not the type that like friends with benefits, dating in Sweden, you have to be very, very cautious. You have to be very cautious, very, very cautious. And again, a man taking you on a date doesn't mean that you have to go home with him. Even if he suggests that, that's him telling you that I want to sleep with you. And these men, they will do it to you. Okay? So be aware of that. And don't judge people based on their skin color, based on their blonde hair, blue eyes. Judge them based on who they are as a person. I dated this man for a couple of months or years, let me say, and this man, every time he had the opportunity to travel abroad, he cheated. He was always with another woman. And the thing is that when he came back to me, he would pretend like everything went well, and then I would, like, we would be having conversation or something. So suddenly something will pop up on his phone, and I'm seeing conversations, chats, and I'm like, and I just like, what's going on? And then I start to ask him, what's going on? Where is this conversation coming from? Who is this woman? And at first he would lie and lie and lie and lie, and at the end he will now say, oh yeah, because then you have all the evidence. This woman is sending messages. This woman is saying that you guys met in so and so place, you met in France, you met in US, you met in this country. So why are you then lying? And that's when he will now come up and say, oh yeah, it's true, I'm sorry, and all of that. I won't do that again. And the next time he travels again, the same thing. That I got anxiety being with this man. The lies, the cheating. And this man is a Swedish man. So if you are there dating, if you're moving to Sweden with the hopes that, oh, I'm gonna go, yeah, blah, blah, do that with your eyes open. Find the good ones. The people, some of my friends who found the good ones, they are enjoying their homes. The other thing is, if you are married with the ones that are difficult, this is what will happen. When the relationship goes sour and there's a child involved, then you have to, there's probability that you would run into custody battle. There's a probability that you will run into custody battle with this person. And if care is not taken, you will lose that custody battle, because first, the person that you're having custody battle is a Swede. And if there is something that you did in the past, in fact, I don't want to go into that topic, okay? I don't want to go into that topic. When you see them fight for custody, you start to ask, is this somebody that I used to love? What happened? What happened? Why all of this? And most foreign women, especially that I see on TikTok, that I see their videos, it's same story. And some of them, they met their Swedish boyfriends or husbands abroad. And this is one thing that the Swedes do very well. You will be abroad, you'll be in your country, maybe you are in the US or in Canada, and they meet you there. Immediately you want to start a family together with them, they will bring you back home. They will make sure that they bring you back home to Sweden, okay? Because they have good welfare system. You can go on maternity leave and not have to worry about finance and all of that. So they bring you back, and then when you bring you back, you don't know how to speak the language, you don't really understand the society. I would advise you to dig in, understand the society, learn the language, understand where you are, because in some cases you are with a good man, and in other cases you're not with a good person, and they can use that against you. So learn the language, get into the society, meet people, meet the right people, not the crazy people, not the crazy foreigners. Meet the right people and learn more about the society. Okay. One other thing that I've come to notice from my dates is that most of my dates had drinking problem. I said it. They have drinking problem. And I won't say most people, alcohol is kind of regulated by the state. But if you go out in some bars, even on a Monday evening, people are already drinking. Tuesday evening, someone is drinking. Wednesday, the person is drinking. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this person is drinking. So it's regulated, but then at the same time, people drink excessively. Especially in my case, I would say men, they drink very excessively. So if you're someone who doesn't like alcohol, and you have problem with being with someone who drinks, ask them if the person drinks. They might say no, they don't have alcohol issue, but get to hang out with them, and then you start to see if this person have alcohol issue or not. And I'll tell you why. If a man has alcohol issues, this is what will happen. And I'm saying from my own experience. The tendency of him cheating on you is 100%. Because he would go out to drink and get drunk and do something. And he might come up with the excuse like, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't remember what happened. I was drunk and blah, blah, blah. If a man has alcohol problem, drinking problem, look around him, look around the kind of friends he has. His friends probably have the same alcohol problem. And I remember one man telling me that every time he gathers with his friends or he goes to meet his friends, once they've had 1 bottle, 2 bottle or 2 glass of alcohol, the next thing they start to talk about is women. And they're Swedish high profile men. They'll start to talk about women in a very rude way, in a very in a very disrespectful way. They will look at women in very obscure way. So the only thing that keeps them talking about women, or the only time when they feel comfortable to talk, is once they've had alcohol. So when a man sees you outside, he might not say hi to you. I mean, he might not say so much, but give a Swedish man 1 glass of alcohol, give him the second one, give him the third one, and then see him talk. You will not be surprised, like, is this the same person that I know, or is this somebody else? Because once they've had alcohol, they are entirely somebody else. Okay? So that means that the tendency of him acting in ways that you don't expect will be high. Another thing again is, when a man has problem with alcohol, most times they are aggressive, especially when they've had alcohol. So if he has alcohol issues, it's high tendency that he will be aggressive, abusive at home. And when he's under the influence of that alcohol, he'll be very he might be aggressive, abusive, all of that, breaking walls. Yeah, Swedish men breaking walls, hitting women. Some of them hit women. And after they are cleared from the alcohol, they will now say, oh, I don't know what I did. I was just drunk. I didn't know what I was doing. And then the next day, the same thing starts to happen again and again. And then you see a pattern there. And most often this happens to, you see, like, these men they perpetuate this behavior towards foreign women, because Swedish women know their rights. And not only their rights, they don't tolerate any bullshit. Most Swedish women don't tolerate any bullshit, because she can take care of herself, she knows the law, she can find a new home, even if they live together, she can always leave the relationship, separate, divorce, and find her own home, take care of herself and her children, and then do the every other week with the kids if they have kids. So Swedish women, most Swedish women will not stay in abuse. Most Swedish women will not stay in abuse. They won't even tolerate abuse. But foreign women tend to tolerate abuse, tend to stay in abuse. So the first time he hits you, the Swedish man hits you, and you keep quiet. Then welcome to more abuse. And by the time he's done with you, your mental health, your physical health, any health that you have will be down to zero. So once they start showing these signs of aggressiveness, alcoholism, cheating, lies, manipulation, these people can manipulate. I think that the headquarters of manipulation should be Sweden. These Swedish men can manipulate you. So please find yourself. I say this in my videos, like, as a woman, not just in Sweden, in any part of the world, it's important that you have your own income, your own source of income. This is why I like Swedish women. Most of them, they always have a source of income, because if once they see that the relationship is not heading towards what they want, or that the person that they are in a relationship with is acting in ways that they find disrespectful, they're walking away. They have their money to take care of themselves. So foreign woman in Sweden, make sure you have your own source of income. Please make sure you have a good source of income, because there are different sources of income in Sweden that foreign women engage in. Make sure you have good source of income, so that, and again, when these men know that you have good source of income and that you will not waste time to leave that relationship, they will treat you better as a foreign woman. Most of them, or some of them don't treat foreign women respectful. But when they know that this foreign woman can take care of herself, whether he's there or not, they respect her. And this is the mistake that I made in my dating. So before you date, make sure you have some sort of income, some job. Make sure that you can afford to take care of you. And again, know your values. If you are someone who have values, don't compromise on your values, because these men will try to make you compromise on your values. They will try to manipulate you to do what they want. And most often, what they want you to do is not something that would add to your benefit. It's something that would add to their benefit. It's something that they want. It's something that would that they want you to do for their own selfish reasons. So have your own values. If you're the type who don't like one night stand, say it from the on-go that you don't want one night stand. If you're not interested in friends with benefits, say that you are not interested in friends with benefits. Say it from the on-go. If you're not interested in threesome, say it that you're not interested in any kind of threesome, any kind of sexual activity that compromises with your values. Say it. And one thing that I like about Swedish men, irrespective of all the things that I have listed, I like them so much. I like them so much. They are humans. Anyway, I like them. One thing, and please bear in mind, this is not everyone. I'm saying from my own experience and from other people's experience as well. Okay? One thing I like about Swedish men is that if you have your standards and you stick by your standards and you refuse to be manipulated and you tell them, see, I won't let you manipulate me, they will respect you. Like they will just leave you alone, because they'll be like, wow, no, this person cannot be manipulated. She's really, like, she knows what she wants. They will step away from you. They will not be the one to force you to do what you want, especially when you're still dating them. If you say that you don't want to have one night stand, friends with benefits, they will just leave you alone. They might try and try, but they will leave you alone. They will not force you. So have your say. Be a woman that knows what she wants. Stick to your values. Make your money. And if you're interested in dating them, from the very first day you meet them, tell them this is what you're looking for. I made that mistake. I was too shy to say this was what I was looking for. And when I started to say this was what I was looking for, I was being called desperate. I am not desperate. At the time, I wasn't desperate. I was just a woman who wanted to be with a man who wanted to be in a committed relationship. So as you're out there dating, swiping, matching, please be cautious. Make sure that what you're doing is what you want to do. Make sure that that relationship would uphold your values and not make you compromise on your values or lose yourself. Make sure that your health, your mental health is paramount, okay, and priority in that relationship. And I will see you in the next video. Do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and like I said, please don't come here to fight. Almost everything I share is from my own experience, okay?